When most people think about a Toyota 4Runner, probably the biggest word that comes to mind is utility. Obviously, they're extremely well known for being a sporty and very capable off-road SUV, but what very few people probably know is just how fancy you can actually make these things. So what I'm actually going to do right now is just going to do just a little bit of a quick tour, a little bit of a walk around of a 2019 Toyota 4Runner Limited. So this is what most people think of when they think of a Toyota 4Runner. They think of the ground clearance, they think of the fact that it's shared with a Tacoma platform, they like the sporty look of it, they know that they're really good off-road. You can see everything's very like utilitarian in here. You've got your big four-wheel drive selector knob, and you get just all these huge knobs everywhere. You know, most of these end up having cloth, but what they don't know is just maybe how fancy you can actually make these things. So here is a 2019 4Runner Limited. And we can just kind of see from the outside, this definitely has a much more elegant, definitely a fancier look, especially if you look at the front end. Everything's been kind of squared off. You've got that big chrome bar across the front, and it really changes the whole front end, because if you look at that compared to this SR5 right next to it, you can just see how much more aggressive and sporty the SR5 front end is, just with the big bulging grille, the way the fog lamps are integrated. And then you switch back over to the Limited, and you can just see how much fancier the design ends up looking, much more elegant. And then same thing happens when you look down the side profile. So again, you've got kind of that, you know, rugged look that everybody wants with a 4Runner. You've got your big massive tires, you've got really good ground clearance, you've got your plastic running boards and everything there, very durable. And now as we come over here to the Limited, you can see obviously we have much bigger wheels. We've got smaller tires, so it's much more of a road going tire than it would be an off-road tire. And you can see we've got much more elegant chrome side steps on the side of this one as well. And of course you can just kind of see you've got your chrome roof rack bars. It's just a much more stepped up design when it comes to the overall appeal of this. And as you can imagine, I apologize for all the noise, we're right off a busy road here, but as you can imagine, it gets extremely nice on the interior as well. So you can get leather with some of the SR5s. You can get an SR5 Premium that does have leather, but it's actually a faux leather. So if you want to have the real leather, you have to actually get the Limited. And you can already kind of see just how nice it is in here. And of course, the Limited isn't just, you know, nice for the sake of being nice. It has a lot of tech features and things. So you can see you've got all these different power ports and whatnot back here. Of course, your seats fold down. You've got a pretty nice cup holder in here. Really nice back seat, and the back seats do slide, so you can move them up and move them down. And that'll become very important here in just a minute for this one. And then as we come up front here, while we still have a lot of the same shape of the interior on the inside of here, obviously having a leather wrapped steering wheel, the leather seats, the wood on the shifter, the wood across the dash. You've got heated and cooled seats down here. You've got kind of a redesigned climate control here, and you can just kind of see even the knobs. I don't know if the knobs are actually any smaller, but they just definitely feel less obtrusive and in your way. But it is a much fancier car in here. You've got, of course, a sunroof, which you can get on the lower trim models, but this is just a nice big sunroof. Tons of really good features in here. You still have all your off-road capabilities, so you still have your knob here. You still have your traction control, your downhill assist, and everything up here on the roof. So you do have those controls, but it's just definitely a much nicer interior. Now, a really unique thing about this 4Runner, and it's not just you know, a feature of just the Limiteds, is I did not know until a little while back that you can actually get a 4Runner with a third row seat. So you can see right now we've got this kind of, you can see this thick platform here. Normally you'd have the seat that, or the rear cargo area that would end right around here. And of course somebody's got the all-weather mats here, so if we just pull that out, you can now see we've got some exposed handles for this third row. And it's really kind of an interesting third row. So you just pull up on this handle to pull up the back. And then the crazy part is you can see we actually have to still unfold this bottom seat. Now this is a two-handed ordeal. I might can see if I can do it with one hand. Yeah, I can do it with one hand. So you just lift from here. There's like a handle right up here in the front. And you basically just lift it forward and then it will click into place. I told you it's kind of a two-handed ordeal. There we go. Just got to rotate your wrist forward. So there you have your third row. We'll go ahead and put this up also. And honestly, this is an equivalent third row that you might have in like the MDX, or even, it's about the same as like a Highlander even. You know, it's really a third row that's meant for, kids, I mean, I guess at a pinch you could get an adult back there. Now the interesting thing is I'm gonna have to jump back here because it actually does look like there's more room back here than I would have expected for this to have. So let's go ahead and fold that seat forward and see how it is. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna use this lever to move that seat up. And now we should have enough space to step on through there. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm a 6'3" guy, so this is actually kind of an interesting test to see how practical this third row is. So now that I'm back here, yeah, it's definitely, well, let me flip the camera around. So yeah, it's a little cramped back here. I've got the headrest up and everything, and even if I lean back as much as I can, and you can kind of see I've already got this seat back, but if I lean back as much as I can, my head is still touching the roof. And I'm not talking like a little bit. I mean, I'm actually having to like tilt my head if I'm really gonna do this right. Otherwise, I'm very much compressing my spine. So I guess technically in a pinch, you could technically fit an adult back here if you just had to get going down the road or something like that. But ideally, any of these, you know, smaller SUVs, I guess I should say mid-size SUVs that have third rows, they're not really meant for adults, they're meant for kids anyway, specifically kids that are out of car seats or at least in boosters or something like that. And I would think actually being kind of in this tight little area back here probably would be fun for a kid. Yeah, as you can see here, there's just, with this seat being back all the way, there's absolutely no way I could get my legs back here, even if I sit up straight. There's no way. And again, I'm 6'3", but with this seat far forward some, it does actually give you some leg room. I wouldn't say that it's comfortable by any means, but I do fit. But what you can see that does for the second row is that pretty much just squishes up any room that they would have there. So yeah, this is definitely kind of cool that you can get the 4Runner with a third row seat, because it definitely comes in handy for sure, but definitely not practical for you know, full-size adults. Getting back out of here, let's just go ahead and flip this handle forward, slide that seat up all the way, then you can see the pathway to get out. So let's see if we can do this. All right, put a foot there, grabbing the door handle here, and kind of hover my way out of there. And then now that you're ready to actually put this third row down, you can just see you just easily fold the headrest. And as I showed you before, there's kind of a two-person or a two-step operation for folding that seat out, but it's actually a one-step to get it to fold down. So if you see this handle here on the back, now you can just fold this down a little bit, but you can see that doesn't really give you any of the space that you need. So what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna pull this handle here, and I'll actually show you as you pull that handle, that bottom comes up, and then you're able to actually lay this down. So I'll do that over here. So you pull the handle, the bottom comes up on its own, and you can fold that down. And that is a third row operation. And that is a pretty good, just quick walk around of a 19 4Runner Limited. Now, of course, I didn't go over every spec and every feature. You can imagine there's a lot of stuff that this has. I'm sure this has the more advanced safety system. I know it's got an upgraded stereo. It's got the JBL woofers and stuff in the back. But it's definitely just kind of neat to kind of walk around and actually check out one of the differences between a limited 4Runner and the regular 4Runner, which, just to kind of show you in the back here, just how much different it is when you don't have that third row in there. All right, so as always, thanks for watching. My name is Brian, the Toyota guy over here at Fred Anderson Toyota in Asheville, North Carolina. If you have any questions about this specific 4Runner, about any other 4Runners, or honestly anything that's over here on the website, don't hesitate to go ahead and send me a message, email, text message, phone call, whatever. But as always, thanks so much and have a great day.